Hey, buddies! Uh-oh. Wrong axe. Hey, buddies! Welcome to another episode of Weird Blues Tales. Hey, buddies! Been a while, I know. I apologize. Some stuff happened. Imagine that. And I was injured really bad. I was assaulted twice, 6 weeks apart, by two different groups of people that I don't even know them. So it's weird out there. Be careful, my friends. Those may become another Weird Blues Tales at another time. But today, for episode 9, I'm going to tell you about the axe murder. Yeah, I was accused of being an axe murderer, and you'll see that it had no merit as I tell you the story here. This happened way back when I was a very young man. My son was 5 years old. I was getting separated from my first wife, his mom, and she was having some mental health problems. And she ended up hooking up with this guy that sold psychedelic substances to the Grateful Dead concerts, and he followed the Dead around. And she had taken my son out for like 2 weeks on one of these Dead tour things. And my son came back and he was freaked out, and he was like, "Dad, don't let me go back with her. They're weird. They were doing stuff. They were getting naked and touching each other and doing weird stuff." And I'm like, "Did they touch you?" And he's like, "No." I'm like, "Are you sure?" And he was like, "Yeah, no, they didn't touch me, but I don't want to go back. They're weird. I don't want to go back." So I'm like, "Okay, this is it." I was already, filing for divorce and, trying to get custody and whatnot. But I called my lawyer and I asked him to please, get temporary permanent custody for me because my son is freaking out. I told him the story. And so he was trying to do this. Well, in the meantime, my wife at that time and her amorati got their lawyer, who was kind of a bum. And it works kind of like the first person to file for permanent custody gets it. And even though my lawyer had the paperwork in there and was doing it, by the book, this guy, Bob, which is a bad Bob, we don't even like him. We don't call him Bob. We just call him bad names. You're going to hear about the good Bob in a second here. He manipulated the paperwork and got his paperwork before the judge first. And I had connections down at the courthouse. We'll go into that another time, another story. But they called me and they said, hey, this butthole cheated and got his papers in front of the judge, and the judge granted your wife temporary permanent custody. This is not good. Yeah, thank you. And my son's freaking out. I got to do something quick. So I get in the car and I drive 15 miles to my buddy Bob's house. The good Bob, the awesome Bob, the Bobaraniest. And he had this property way up in the mountains, fairly secluded, nice property. And we got up there and I'm telling him the situation and the problem. I'm trying to figure out something. In the meantime, I know they're going to be looking for my car. So I call my sister-in-law, Diane, and ask her to come get me at Bob's house. And she agrees. So she's going to take her a while. She's got stuff to do, but she's going to be out there and she's going to help me. So Bob and I and my son were hanging out by the creek, talking, trying to figure out some kind of plan. And all of a sudden, here comes my future ex-wife and her dildo boyfriend. And they got a dog. They got like a husky, Malamute looking thing with blue eyes. Nice dog. Had more sense than both of them. And they parked down at the bottom and they're walking up the trail towards the creek. My son freaks out. I bring him in the cabin. There's a cabin with a loft. It's just a big one-room cabin. No running water. It's got electricity, but no running water or anything. Bob lived there for decades. I go take him upstairs to the loft, and I put him under the mattress. And I go back. He's like, don't let him take me. Don't let him take me. Don't let him take me. I'm like, don't worry. It's not going to happen. Showtime. So here they come up the trail and they're demanding Zach. And I'm like, he's not here. I don't know where he is. He's not coming with you anyway. You should just leave. And the guy tries to sick the dog on me. The dog takes about 3 steps forward and looks at me and went, nah. And he ran. The dog ran. I guess I get a look on my face when things are serious, and I guess I'm pretty scary. I can't just do it. I guess it just something with adrenaline or something. I don't know, but I guess I'm pretty scary looking. Anyhow, the dog ran. Now, between me, the guy, and my soon-to-be ex-wife, there's a big stump about this big, okay? And it's got a hatchet in it. No axe. It's got a hatchet in it. And the handle's facing towards him. And I see him eyeing it. And I'm waiting, and he goes for it. And he gets about that far from the handle, and boom, I got it. I have it. All right? And he runs down the trail. Now, there was a couple of train boxcars there. Actually, only one. One train boxcar there. And the car was behind that. You couldn't see it. It's a big property. And dude runs down the trail, and I know he's going for a weapon in the car. Because there's no way they would have come up there without backup of some kind and being as bold as they were. I'm just not a person to mess with, and they knew that, okay? So I'm figuring he's got a weapon. I run down back behind him, got the hatchet, and he had jumped through the passenger side window, and he was fishing for something under the seat. He was wearing shorts and sandals. Again, not too smart. All right, so I figure he's got a gun under the seat or something. I mean, he's going for something, right? So I grab his ankle, I start pulling him out, and I start beating his ankle with the hammer side of the hatchet. And he's screaming, he's yelling, and the next thing I know, there's blood everywhere. And I'm freaked out, like, I was using a hammer, so I had him looking at his ankle. It's all good, but there's like blood everywhere. So, oh God, I killed this guy. Oh no. So I let him go. I backed up. The ex-wife comes running down the trail around the boxcar. She sees what's happening. She yells. She gets in the car. She's got the dog. She ran and got the dog. The dog and the three of them get in the car and they split. Oh God. Bob's freaked out. What the hell did you do? Why did you bring trouble to my house? Which I totally don't blame him. I mean, this was some bullshit. About 10 minutes later, here comes my sister-in-law, Diane. And, she doesn't know what's going on. I run to the car, ran up to the cabin, got Zach up from under the mattress. He's shaking. He doesn't know what's going on. He didn't witness any of this. And I just jump in the car and I tell Diane, drive. Drive the opposite way of where you came. We're in the Arkansas River Canyon. All right, so I'm driving. I mean, she's driving. I'm riding. I'm thinking, I'm praying. Please, Lord, help me. Help me find some kind of safe spot till I can work this out. Please, God, help me. And I'm thinking, I need to go someplace I've never been before. Because they're going to be looking for me. I got the kid, and I just assaulted somebody, even though it was self-defense, okay? I started thinking, and we're driving, we go past Cotopaxi, and we're cruising, and I'm thinking, I've only been to Westcliff one time in my life, and I don't know anybody there. And so I tell her to take the road to Westcliff. And on we go. And I'm still praying like a madman. And we're driving. And we're in the mountains. And we come to a sign that says Lake Deweese. I've never been there. We go by it. I go into Westcliff, which is a really small town. Really small. I mean, they actually had I don't know if they still do, but they actually had the Cattleman's branding brands posted on this big wood thing in the middle of town. It was huge, like a, welcome to Westcliff thing, only it was the branding thing. It had like, I don't know, 30, 40 different brands of different people, said what ranch it was, what the brand looked like. I mean, it was, kind of cool, archaic. I don't know if it's still like that, but it was at that time. And I went into a general store type thing, a little store, and asked the girl behind the counter. I said, hey, I really need like a place to stay. I'm not seeing any hotels or anything around here. Is there any place I can go and, rent a room for a while? And she's like, just for the night? And I'm like, nah, it might be a while. She's like, oh yeah, well, what way did you come in? And I tell her, and she's like, well, you passed the sign for Lake Deweese. And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, go back there. She's like, they've got, like really nice, like little cabins. She described them as cabins. And they rent them out, they should hook you up. They're not too busy or anything. I'm like, cool. So we go, and this is like beautiful scenery. I've never been to Lake Deweese, all right? And I'd only been to Westcliff once, okay? So The Lord works in mysterious ways. So yeah, we cruised around. I mean, Diana was really pretty calm and cool about the whole thing. I mean, you could see she was tense, but she didn't like, you know, gripe or, you know, complain or freak out or nothing. She just, okay, all right, okay. So we find the office for the motel, lodge, not a motel, lodge, okay, lodges, and I go in, I fill out the paperwork, I didn't give them false ID or anything, okay, told them I had my son with me, and I needed a place for maybe 4 or 5 days. I didn't know for sure, but, you know, I had the money. No worries, I had cash. In those days, cash was king. Now plastic is elastic. So yeah, we got, actually, it was like an apartment. It had a living room, big living room, kitchen, big kitchen, not a kitchen, it was a full kitchen, and 2 bedrooms. And, you know, there was no cell phones in these days. It's landline. So Diana drops us off. We don't have luggage or anything. Okay? I had keys to my house and my wallet, basically. I mean, didn't have any essentials at all. So we actually went and got some groceries at the little store there in Westcliff and took them back. And then I called my lawyer. Told him everything I just told you guys. And he said, well, that's not good. And I'm like, no, that's not good. He's like, well, I'll do what I can. I'll see if I can, you know, do something so you can surrender. And there shouldn't be any problem, but, you know, is this number good for you? And I give him the number, and yeah. So I'm sitting at the hotel, and my son and I are cooking and going out by the lake. We didn't even have any fishing equipment. It would have been cool. We could have went fishing, but so like 3 days go by. Diane's coming to check on us like every other day. Not every day, every other day. And, you know, she's making sure nobody's following her or anything. And she brings me the Rocky Mountain News. And in the Rocky Mountain News, on the front page, it says, axe murderer at large. Shoot to kill, armed and dangerous. Okay, as I just told you, there was no axe, there was a hatchet. Nobody died. Okay? So come to find out, what happened was, when I was beating his ankle in the door frame of this, I think it was a Rambler. I'm not good with cars, but it was kind of a unique car, an older car. Anyway, it had big windows. And apparently, when I was hitting him with the hammer side, he stuck his hand out there, to defensive move. And the webbing of his hand right here got caught between the sharp side and the top of the door window frame. And that was his injury, okay? But the story that they told to the state patrol was, I was beating her and I had her on the ground and I had an axe and the axe was coming down on her throat, and right before it got there, he stuck his hand out and saved her life by getting cut on the webbing of his finger. All right, well, Bob was there, he saw it, but okay, that's their story. They're sticking to it. Okay, so I'm going to make this a two-parter. I'm going to give you a slight spoiler alert. I'm going to tell you that my lawyer did arrange for me to surrender, and I didn't have to go to jail at that time. All right, but there's a whole nother story about the trial and what happened before and after the trial. And that's a really interesting one too. And we'll save that one for next time. I hope this didn't freak you out too much. I'm kind of leery about telling these kind of stories because it kind of sounds like I'm bragging and stuff, But this really did happen, and I used to really be a badass dude, but I've changed my ways. I'm a good boy these days. And hope you like this story. Let me know in the comments, please. I hate to say this, but please like and subscribe. I'm trying to keep this going. I apologize for not giving you a weird blues tale for, I think, 9 months or something. But yeah, I was bedridden for 4 months, and I was really out of it. There were days I literally didn't know what day it was. I'd get dressed for church, and we don't even have church anymore. And they'd say, oh, it's Tuesday. So, yeah, I'm better now. I hope to keep this going. And I love you all much. Thank you for joining me for episode 9 of Weird Blues Tales. Stay strong out there. I'm glad to see some of you out there in the streets telling it like it is. I love you all much. God bless us all.